Incoterms and export price. Incoterms are rules. They are rules of International Chamber of Commerce that guide international trade transactions, even local transactions. They are word essential term for trade in sales of goods, whether you are filling a purchase order, packaging and labeling a shipment for freight transport, or preparing a certificate of origin at a port. The Incoterm rules are there to guide you. The Incoterm rules are there to guide you. The Incoterm rule provides specific guidance to individuals participating in import and export of global trade on a daily basis. Different practices and legal interpretation between traders around the world necessitated a set of common rules and guidelines. As a response, ICC published its first Incoterm in 1936. Incoterm defined transaction cost and risk between buyer and seller in an international trade transaction. So if we choose an Incoterm in our transaction, there is no need for argument again, because the Incoterm already said who is bearing the risk at any point in time, who is bearing the cost at any point in time. So whoever bears the risk is the one that have lost money. There are 13 of those Incoterms, and we're going to look at them shortly. Sorry, there are 11 of them, rather. We're going to look at them shortly. The word Incoterm stands for International Commercial Terms, which is now a trademark of International Chamber of Commerce, registered in several countries. Today, more than ever, participants in global trade system require guidance and clarity. With the emergence of new technologies, government policies, and environmental regulation, the Incoterm 2020 edition provides a common framework for the future of trade. Incoterms are identifiable as a series of three-letter trade terms related to common contractual sale practices, and these terms serve to clearly communicate the task to be performed by both parties, the cost to be incurred by both parties, the risk to be carried by both parties in the course of transportation of the goods and delivery to the designated point. Simplify sales contract. Incoterms simplify sales contract by defining respective obligation, cost, risk that are involved in delivery of goods. There are two groups or categories of Incoterm. Category one is called multimodal. It's applicable to any mode of transport. Category two is called monomodal. It's only applicable to sea transport or inland waterway transport. Category one, ex-works, free carrier, carriage paid to, carriage insurance paid to, deliver at place unloaded, deliver duty paid. Group two, free alongside ship, free on board, cost and freight, cost insurance and freight. Let's look at them one by one. And I'm going to do a simulation. So please look at your screen. If you have not been looking at your screen, just listening to me, please look at your screen now. You will notice I've arranged the Incoterms and did a little animation on PowerPoint to demonstrate the movement of cost, which with a dollar note there, and risk with a risk icon right there on the screen. For an ex-works transaction, the exporter's cost and risk ends at the exporter's warehouse. What this then means is that ex-works give the lowest responsibility to the exporter and the highest responsibility to the importer. Because what this means is that the importer will arrange for the movement of the goods out of the exporter's warehouse, clear it for export in the exporter's country, and transport it to his own country and clear it for import in his own country. Do you know that there are Nigerians importers who do exports? They buy from a supplier in China who will deliver to their warehouse, but they have a representative in Guangzhou in China who will help them move that goods from the warehouse of the exporter to the port and ship it to them in Nigeria. The Nigerian importer is doing ex-works with the exporter and doing CFR to move the goods to Nigeria from China. Look at free carrier, the next one. The risk, the cost of the exporter ends at the terminal and the risk of the exporter ends at the terminal, all in the exporter's country. In this case, the exporter will clear the good for export, but the importer is going to bear the cost of moving the goods from the terminal to the port of loading, then to the port of discharge, then to his own destination in his own country. But look at free alongside ship. The exporter cost and risk ends when the good is at the port of loading, at the ship side, overlooking the ship. At the port of loading, not on the ship yet, not on the vessel yet, is at the ship side. So immediately I deliver the good at the quay, that's the platform beside the ship where the container are loaded, the platform from which the container will be loaded onto the ship. Immediately I deliver it to that point, my risk and cost has ended as an exporter. That means automatically the importer bears the risk and cost from that point. Look at CPT. In CPT, my cost, my risk, my cost extend to destination. I bear the cost of moving the good to destination, but my risk end at the terminal. My risk end at the terminal, but in my country, but I'm paying the transport to destination. If you look at FCA, in FCA, the importer is the one that bears the cost of transport and risk to destination. But in CPT, the importer bears the risk to destination, but the exporter bears the cost of shipping the good to destination. Same in CIP, carriage, insurance, pay to. The exporter bears the cost of transport and insurance to destination. The risk of the exporter ends in his country at the terminal. FOB, free on board. For free on board, the cost end on board the vessel and the risk end on board the vessel. The risk and cost of the exporter ends while the goods are loaded on board the vessel in the exporter's country. CFR, the exporter bears the cost of transport to destination, but the risk ends in his own country, just like CPT. And then CIF, the exporter bears the cost of transport and insurance to destination, but the risk of the exporter ends in his own country on board the vessel. Deliver at place, the risk and cost of the exporter ends when the goods arrive at a terminal at the destination. The DAP, DPU, and DDP are called delivery Incoterms. The risk and cost of the exporter ends while the goods are delivered to a terminal at the destination. DPU, deliver at place unloaded. The risk of the exporter and the cost of the exporter ends at a destination in the importer's country, but the exporter will also unload the goods. Then deliver duty paid. The risk, the exporter bear the transport to destination and clear the goods, bear the cost of clearing the good at destination, and then carry the risk also to the final destination. Now, why did I show you that chart? Is to demonstrate to you that, that Incoterms affect pricing. The essence of showing you that chart is to let you know that Incoterms affect pricing. What exactly does that mean? I want you to look at the chart on the screen. This is a sesame seed export. The unit price is $1,000. Unit price is $1,000. The last cost there is shipping line local charges. And the transaction is FOB transaction. Look at the next one. The next one is CFR transaction. Do you notice the price have moved from $1,000 to $1,050 because there is a freight charge here? So can you see now that by moving from an FOB to CFR, our price has to change because Incoterms affect pricing. By moving from FOB to CFR, our price has to change because Incoterms affect pricing. By moving from CFR to CIF, the price is still changing from 1,050 CIF transaction to 1,060 because now there is an insurance fee.